Question. What should a convert be studying on a weekly basis along with the Chumash, with commentary? If they are already watching several hours of your shulim per day, halacha, musar, something else I've read in the syllabus, but I'm looking for a good next step. Okay, so the study program should be for everybody, not just necessarily for someone that's in the process of conversion. So a person needs to learn the weekly parasha with commentary. Then they also need to learn musar. Then they also need to learn halacha. 2 halachot per day at least, if not more. And that's musar, the weekly parasha, halacha. Now, if a person is a little bit more advanced, if they're already a Jew, then they would start studying Gemara. If they're not a Jew, just add to everything that you're already doing. It does not need to be something else. It should be even more than what you're doing right now. And if you want to, let's say, you want to learn more, but you don't have the strength to exert your mind as much as necessary, let's say when you're learning musar or when you're learning halacha or something like that, then I always recommend for people to have at least one bio of the tzaddikim that they're reading at all times. A bio of one of the tzaddikim, whether you want to read the bio of Rav Grossman or Rav Ovadia, the Klosenberger Rebbe, Rashi, Rambam. There's so many bios that tzaddikim. No nation in the world even has 1% of the amount of extraordinary people as the Jewish people. It's unbelievable how amazing the Jewish people are. It's such a extraordinary honor that a person can have to be part of the Jewish people if they truly knew who the Jewish people are. And not conclude who they are by the news, or unfortunately sometimes by the people they see in their community. But if they really understood who the Jewish people are, who are the ones that represent Judaism, who are the tzaddikim, who are the gedolei ador, who are the amazing people, you would see how extraordinary it is. And there's quite a few bios that I could recommend for anyone who doesn't know. I can name you a few. I can name you a few off the top of my head that I think are fantastic. One of my favorites is To Remain a Jew. It's a life story of Rav Zilber, Rabbi Zilber. To Remain a Jew is a bestseller, which is unusual for a Jewish book, but it's a bestseller and it's an extraordinary book. Also, Rav Wasserman's bio, Rav Elchanan Wasserman's bio touched my heart in ways that I don't think any other book has. Connected to the tzaddik in very big ways. His mesirut nefesh, his sacrifice, his love of Torah, his emet. And also Rav Ovadia's bio, my wife and I both started crying at the end. So those are a few. And you also have many others. The Klosenberger Rebbe, if you read that book, you're simply going to learn more what it means to be an angel. Even if you're surrounded by Gehenom. Being an angel inside Gehenom. Klosenberger Rebbe bio. Fantastic bio, something exceptional. One actually reading right now is Rav Grossman. Rav Yitzchak David Grossman's new book, a relatively new book. We just started reading it. I usually read these bios with my wife on Shabbat. And we started reading it a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, there's angels among us, and we did not even know. I've known about Rabbi Grossman for a long time, but not in this way, not so close. It's just mamash. It's an angel among men, angel among men. It's mamash, angel among men. And people would think by the image of Rav Grossman that he's like one of these Care Bear rabbis. Nonsense. His image is one of the things that fools people the most. You read his book, you see what he says, and you see is emet la'amita, the reason why he succeeded and continues to succeed, and Be'ezrat Hashem lives 1,000 years, not 120 years, 1,000 years, doing what he's doing, and Migdal Or, building mamash a city of Kedusha, turning the biggest criminal city in the land of Israel into the holiest city of Israel. Single-handedly, obviously lots of help with people and so on, but Siyat Nishmai, you build a city of holiness. A city of holiness. How? Emet. Couple of stories I can remember. There was one time the Russians moved into the Migdal Emek area, and they were getting a lot of help from the government. And the Sephardi Jews, the Moroccans, weren't getting any help from the government. In fact, they were treated like garbage many times. So there was created a lot of tension between the two. And one time, the Russians had a party, and one of the spicy Moroccans decided that he wants to go to the party, even though he's not invited and not allowed to go, and pushed himself into the party. The Russian guys said, "Get out of here." He didn't want to get out of there. Pushing and shoving, he took a glass bottle, smashed it, and stuck it in the guy's neck. The guy died on the spot. He ran away, and now the Russians were looking for blood. Looking for blood. This was, I believe, if I remember correctly, Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah. Shem Yishmor V'Yatzil. That's, unfortunately, when you don't know what Judaism is, that's what you do on Rosh Hashanah. So now the Russians are causing havoc in the city. It's already a crime city to begin with. And Rabbi Grossman is praying in his Bet Knesset, Rosh Hashanah, most critical day of the year, Judgment Day. The mayor of the city comes in with a bunch of people, gets Rabbi Grossman's attention. "Please, I need to talk to you right now." Middle of Rosh Hashanah, prayer in the morning, right now. What happened? Tells him about the whole murder that happened the night before, and now the Russians are looking for blood, any Moroccan blood, not just the guy. So comes Rav Grossman, Chassid, Kadosh, doesn't look like he knows a word about crime. Doesn't even look like he ever heard the word crime, but he has dealt with it in the neighborhood and mamash completely revived the city day after day, dealing with all types of criminals and turning them into tzaddikim, not just people, "Oh yeah, maybe I'll give some tzedakah once a month." Tzaddikim. 15,000 people have become students, Talmidei Chachamim, from his place. 15,000. Mamash, what he did is unbelievable. Rabbis, Dayanim came from him in the last 40, 50 years. So anyway, he hears this. This is the beginning stages. He's still young. He's probably 20-something years old. He hears about this. Russians are looking for blood. He stops. He leaves the place. The people continue to pray. And he goes to the center where all of these Russians are yelling, screaming, mamash, like sharks and piranhas looking for blood. He comes to them and he starts speaking to them in Yiddish. He doesn't know Russian, but he speaks to them in Yiddish. Similar, they understand him, and he starts giving them the understanding that he's on their side. "Yeah, you're right. I'm going to make sure he goes to jail, he gets punished, and this and that." They see a rabbi talking their language. Okay, sounds good. The mayor is telling them to say all types of things as if, "No, don't do nothing." Yeah. He knows they're not going to listen to this mayor. Who is this mayor? He doesn't know what he's talking about. You have to tell these people that you're behind them. So now they are listening to this Chassid. I don't even know if they ever saw a Chassid in their life, but this Chassid is talking their language. He says, "You guys want to do it? Let's go. Come with me." So all of them, dozens of them, are all following Rav Grossman. Where they're following, he walks to the shul. The shul is already packed on Rosh Hashanah. Now double the amount of people. He gets them all, they're all excited. What's going on here? We're in a shul, this rabbi is with us, whatever. And then he gets on there and he starts giving a musar shiur. And he says this to them: "Surely the guy that did this we're gonna make sure he goes to prison. But I want to make sure that you all know, anyone here that spills Jewish blood, whether his or otherwise, I promise you, you will not finish this year alive." At that moment, all of the tension, all of the heat, all of the anger, nothing. Why? They knew he meant business. They knew that holy man they never saw before was saying the truth. Show me how many puppy dog rabbis are willing to say such a thing. Tell a bunch of people that are criminals that they're not going to finish off the year and mean it. But that's how he dealt with them, and that's how he got them to change, and that's how he got many of them to do tshuva and change the whole community. Change the whole community. Another time, he goes, I believe he went to England. England, I believe it was. And he sees a couple of guys, Israeli guys, walking. And they say, how are you? How are you? And he says to one of the guys says to them, Kvod Harav, listen, I got this non-Jewish girlfriend that I want to convert her. Can the rabbi help me? On the spot, Rabbi Grossman says to him, I'll answer you in a moment, but I want to deal with something else for a second. Ata lo mitbayesh. He says, aren't you ashamed of yourself that you're telling me that you're dating a non-Jewish woman? You, an Israeli, a Sephardi Israeli nonetheless, are dating a non-Jewish girl, and you tell me about it like it's not a big deal when your ancestors died to be Jewish. You're not even embarrassed to say that you're with a non-Jewish girl. Don't you think you've crossed all lines? On the spot, he tells him. No sugarcoating, no maybe she has a Jewish neshama nonsense. 100% truth to his face. The guy didn't know where to bury himself from the embarrassment, but all he had to say is like, Rabbi, listen, all the guys here are doing it. All the guys. He goes, where are they meeting all these non-Jewish girls? He says there's a nightclub for Israelis. Apparently a lot of non-Jewish girls like to come too. He says, I'm going to see you there tonight. Rav Grossman was called the disco rabbi. He used to go to discos and get people to do tshuva inside a disco. I don't believe anybody in the world today can do that. Not then and not today. And you go into a disco, 100% you end up sinning every single sin in the Torah, just like Esav. You have to be a ish kadosh. Kadosh beyond comprehension. Mamash, malach Hashem. You have to be an angel among men to do what he did. You have to be an angel among men. Somebody that's not like that, for sure, goes to a nightclub, doesn't come out. Doesn't come out. He was called the disco rabbi. They did a whole documentary about him in the 1970s. He says to the guys, oh, that's where the guys are. I'll see you there tonight. He goes there that night. He goes up to the DJ booth. He says, may I? He takes the microphone from the DJ and he starts telling the people, Rabotai, it's Chanukah. Let's do a blessing for Chanukah. He brings a menorah. A bunch of Israelis are saying Amen. Mama's unbelievable life. Unbelievable life. Unbelievable Kedusha. What he did is called Azut de Kedusha. It's like having like nerve, having like no shame when it comes to the issues of Kedusha, of holiness. He goes on the stage, takes the mic, asks the guy for mic, gives him the mic, and talks to them about blessing of Chanukah, and then he starts talking to the guy. He says, guys, I want to talk to all the men. I'm sorry, women. I'm sorry, ladies. I can't talk to you now. I want to talk to all the men tonight. In the back. Come meet me. All the guys have no idea what this chassid is even doing there, but they're inspired. Okay, let's go talk to the rabbi. He sits there and he talks to them until 3 o'clock in the morning. Till 3 o'clock in the morning. Talking to them about intermarriage, telling them the emet, telling them what needs to be done. Get out of this garbage. A couple of the guys that are 100% criminals say to the rabbi, please save us. You have woken us up tonight, but there's no way for us to go to Eretz Yisrael. There's no way for us to stay here because we're in crime wherever we go. You have to help us to get out of here. We know the emet now. He says, don't worry, I'll take you. He takes him to a rabbi in France. They become avrichim. They become tzaddikim. With what? With lies? With schmoozing? No. With telling them it's okay to drive on Shabbat? Absolutely not. 100% emet. No questions asked. A lot of people try to personify him as if he's like a Care Bear. He doesn't care if you sin. He doesn't care if you violate Shabbat. There's complete lies. There's no way that a person would have such success, such siyat d'ishmaya, living a lie. The amount of truth is unbelievable. So that is one of the inspiring books that I'm reading right now on Shabbat. So that's one of the things a person should add to their life.